What's up guys, it's Collin Coates from Built2Wander. I've got our two-door Bronco Badlands in the garage today. We're getting ready to transform this thing for the 2022 SEMA show, and that starts with a set of fiberglass front fenders and rear quarter panels from Advanced Fiberglass Concepts. So we're gonna try our hand at installing this. We've never done any fiberglass work before, but we've been told that it's doable. It just takes a little patience. So our plan is to do this over the course of a weekend, get these test fit, and then off to paint. In the meantime, we're gonna kind of walk you through the process. We're gonna talk a little bit about fitment, functionality, things like can you clear a bigger tire with these fiberglass fenders, and then finally style. You know, my opinion is that these fiberglass fenders really make this Bronco look like it's early gen classic counterpart, and so we're really excited to kind of change the look of the Bronco and get these things going. So before we do that, like this video, subscribe to the Driving Line channel, and let's get after it. All right, so before we get started, thought I'd fill everyone in with a little bit of background as to why we chose to run fiberglass fenders and rear quarter panels from Advanced Fiberglass Concepts. You know, when Jess got this Bronco, the reason we did this whole thing in the beginning was because she had this fascination with the early Bronco. And I mean, who doesn't? Such a classic 4x4, you know, classic body styling. And the one thing that I was a little disappointed of with the modern Bronco is the fact that it's got fender flares. And I mean, it makes sense. You've got to cover the tires for all the you know, different rules and regulations in the various 50 states. But what I'm really excited about is that these Advanced Fiberglass Fenders do not have a fender flare. In fact, they look a lot more like the classic Bronco. So I really think it'll transform the look of this Bronco. I know Jess is excited to get these on. And I think we're gonna go ahead and start with the front fenders, get those into place first. But before we do that, we're gonna have to remove the winch out of the front bumper. We're also gonna have to pull this lower balance piece. The grill's gonna have to come off. And then finally, we're gonna have to pull off the Rock Slide Engineering step sliders so that we can get access into all the bolts that actually hold this front fender on. So we're gonna go ahead and start pulling everything off, and then eventually, once we get all that prep work done, we'll be able to pull the fender and start working on the front Advanced Fiberglass Fenders. All right, so like I said, this process is definitely tedious, so it requires a level of patience. So for my sake, I decided I was gonna dedicate 3 or 4 days, slowly chip away at this project over the course of a long weekend. So on day one, we really disassembled the Bronco. I kind of took a look at the front fiberglass fenders and made a game plan for day two. Okay, what do I need to drill out on the fiberglass fenders, and how do we start test fitting? So right now, the Bronco's like fully disassembled up front. You know, grill, valance is gone, the front fenders are off. We removed any of the sub bracketry for those front fenders. And I have gone ahead and drilled out all of the holes for the front driver's side fender. I got this, this door jamb seam back installed with these body clips. And so we're gonna go ahead and start test fitting this up, see if we can't get it to line up nicely. Assuming this goes smoothly, we'll go ahead and do the passenger side front fender next. And that one should be a little faster, but we're really just taking our time, making sure we're doing it right. Last thing we wanna do is rush this and break any fiberglass or create any need for repair. So we'll see how this goes. Definitely excited to see this take shape. All right, got the front fenders installed. The only thing left we have to do up front is get those that actual like lower grill valance in. So we've got some more drilling to do down here in these bottom corners of the front fenders, but gosh, I'm super stoked with the look. We got all the gaps pretty well dialed. I think it looks just amazing on the Bronco. Definitely transforms the look of this thing. So excited to finish buttoning up the front. Probably gonna do that tomorrow. Like I said, I'm kind of slowly chipping away at this project, but then from there we'll start on the rear and get the rest of this Bronco looking dialed. All right, continuing to make progress. So got the valance back on underneath the grill here. Really happy with the gaps and just how things line up. That's on the passenger side. Then over here on the driver's side, the same. Looking really good there. So we're gonna put the grill on, and really, I think we're kind of buttoned up with the front. I mean, we still got to do inner fender liners, which Advanced Fiberglass provided for us. So we will rip out the existing ones, but I'm pretty excited to button up the front of this thing and then start working on the rear today. Like I said, definitely been a slow process, but taking our time is definitely the way to do it, and I'm really happy with the results so far. All right, so we're continuing working on the Bronco here. We've got the front end all buttoned back up, and now we're working on the rear quarter panels. So this morning we went ahead and took off the factory quarter panels, and we're gonna start test fitting up the Advanced Fiberglass quarter panels. I think I'm gonna start on the driver's side because it's got this fuel filler door. So I think that'll make it a little bit more complicated, but overall I do think the rear will go a lot faster than the front. So excited to start seeing how this comes together. All right, so we've done some test fitting on the driver's side rear quarter panel. It actually lines up pretty well. There is some slight adjustments I want to make here at the door jamb gap. Basically, you want a paint mixing stick to be able to fit in there and provide a uniform gap, basically of that exact thickness. And it's a little tight up at the top of the door and a little loose up at the bottom. So gonna adjust kind of the holes that we drilled just to give it a little bit of play so we can kind of get it into that perfect spot. And then we've got some more drilling to do. Got to cut out this area for the fuel filler door. And then there's some drilling, just some trimming we need to do down here at the pinch seam by the rocker panel. So getting really close though, and excited to see this thing on the Bronco and kind of what that looks like with the front fenders. It's gonna be so sick when it's done. All right, we've got the rear quarter panels installed on both sides, all buttoned up. Basically just need to throw the hardtop back on this thing, but you can kind of get an idea for how it looks. We will get this out of the garage shortly. It's actually storming right now, but as soon as the weather lets up, we'll pull it out and do a nice walk around and show what these new fenders look like from Advanced Fiberglass Concepts. I will say, overall, very, very impressed with the fit and the finish, how everything came together. I learned a lot about the Bronco, tackling this project by myself, just pulling it apart and then, ultimately putting it back together. But really, really excited to get this thing off to paint. I can't wait to see what this thing looks like when all the new panels match the body. Really pumped to be done with it. It was definitely a long, tedious install, but overall, really glad I did it. All right, so we got the Bronco out of the garage, and I gotta say I am very happy with the fit and finish of the Advanced Fiberglass front fenders and rear quarter kit. From a style perspective, we really wanted to take cues from that early Bronco, that first gen ancestor, and I feel like we were able to do that with the Advanced Fiberglass kit. Deleting those factory fenders and flares and going to this integrated flare really makes it look like the original Bronco, in my opinion. So really excited about that look. From a functionality standpoint, we get about an inch more clearance at all four corners. I'm running a 37-inch Ridge Grappler on my Jeep 392. I measured the wheel well openings, and the Bronco has about an inch more clearance in the wheel wells than that even the Jeep does. So, I think with that additional clearance and the ability to add another inch of lift to this with the suspension system we have on it from Bilstein, throwing a 37-inch tire underneath this thing shouldn't be an issue at all. So really excited that we get a little bit more clearance out of these fenders. And I think on 37s with these fenders from Advanced Fiberglass, that this thing will look like a total beast. So for now, just got to decide between running a Nitto Ridge Grappler or a Nitto Trail Grappler. Currently, I've got the Trail Grappler underneath it. Seriously love that tire, love the aggressive look. But we have been putting quite a bit of miles on this thing, so the Ridge Grappler might be the way to go. Guys, thanks for following along as we transform the look of our two-door Bronco Badlands. So stoked on the results of the Advanced Fiberglass front fenders and rear quarter panel kit. Really pumped to get some fresh paint laid down, possibly a bigger tire underneath the Bronco, and cannot wait to show you guys how well everything comes together here for the SEMA show. Drop me a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions about the ADV Fiberglass kit, any questions on the installation process. Would love to walk you through it or answer those if you've got them. And as always, hit the like button if you did and subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, wander on.
Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.